الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. My dear respected brothers and elders, once again you've joined us for the Q&A. We'll start with this week's questions. Question number 1. I have a question. I'm a mother of 5 kids, married 2 times. I have 3 children from my previous marriage and 2 from my now husband. It's now 9 to 10 years old. Is my eldest daughter is putting allegations on him that he touched her inappropriately. He's swearing by Allah that he never touched her or done anything. I'm in a really bad situation. I don't know what I should do. Break the family or to believe. Please guide me in the light of Islam. These questions, sister, is best to ask privately, would more be appropriate. Just on top of my head, a few things that I'll just mention while the question has come. That firstly, see, Islam has given us boundaries. When these boundaries are put in place, then what happens? Some people would say, oh, it's okay. They like family, close friends, relatives, first cousins. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with this. You're being too strict. You should be a bit more modern, broad-minded, and so on. The restrictions Islam has put is for our safety. We must follow these restrictions. What Islam has declared as a mahram is a mahram, someone who you cannot marry forever. Someone who's a non-mahram, whether it's your first cousin. Now, it's not allowed that you can be alone with your first cousin sister. Or even nowadays you have people that they would even hug, na'udhu billah, their first cousin. This is haram, because they're not your mahram. So as I was saying, these boundaries are in place. We have to respect these boundaries. So the same thing I would say to the sister, the boundaries are in place. There's restrictions that Islam has put on. Follow these restrictions. Number 2, it's a very difficult situation, to come to who's right and who's wrong. I would say listen to both sides of the story. Not just one side, listen to both sides carefully and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He shows you the truth and what's right, and moving ahead. Boundary restriction is very important, that you take care of your daughters. May Allah make it easy for this sister and come to the right decision. Number 2, is it necessary to perform sunnah salah in safar, and is sunnah salah offered as usual in safar? It depends on the situation one is in. If you are in a situation where if you pray your sunnahs, your train will leave, then the obvious is to go and join. Sometimes depends on the situation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us ease while we are traveling, depending, because a person is in different situations when they're traveling. So you'd have to look according to that situation. If you are in a position where you cannot pray your sunnahs, then there is that concession. And if you are in a position where you have the time, then it's okay, you may read. It all depends on the situation that you are in. Question number 3, when visiting the graves of the deceased, know that you have visited them, and does the soul return to the deceased? Now, when we go to the graveyard, we say Assalamu alaikum ya ahl al-qubur. Assalamu alaikum, O people of the graves. Do the people of the graves hear, or what is? This is something which is an unseen matter which Allah knows. We do know from the narrations of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where when you bury one and the dead person, he hears their footsteps even before they get out of the graveyard. So we know this much which the Prophet ﷺ has taught us. We know when the leaders of Makkah, they were disgraced and they died and they were killed in the battle of Badr, Rasulullah ﷺ spoke to them. And Umar radiallahu anhu was surprised that you are speaking to them, yet they're dead. Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned they can hear well what I'm telling them. So we know from some narrations, some reports that are there, the rest Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. These are matters of the unseen to us. What should I do when I'm invited for a birthday party? What should you do? It depends what type of birthday. It's not something which is Islamic. Now, if you're just going where it's your family members that are there, maybe you can give them some da'wah. Maybe your going can be better for them and to go. But if you don't see any khair and goodness in it, if it's mixed, there's non-mahrams there, then what benefit is it going to give you? Rather that you're losing out yourself doing haram. So, and then we have to try and explain to our youth, coming generations that celebrate birthdays, it's not a true happiness, it's a fake happiness. You see people celebrate their 60th birthday and they have cakes, you're 60, inside asking what he's feeling. Oh gosh, I'm 60 now. What is he feeling inside? Is fake happiness. There's no truth to it. People are giving cards and he's smiling, but yet inside, what is he feeling? Oh, I've only got a short time, I'm a traveler now. That's what he's feeling inside, but it's the fake happiness that's shown to the public. It's not true happiness. Even birthdays, each time a person's getting older and older, it's fake happiness. We have to really understand what is the concept. Is it Islamic? It's not Islamic. There's no benefit. No, we have to explain this to our youth. It's just become such a custom. A lot of israf, wastage, so much money spent on cakes and candles and so on. Allahu Akbar. As time going on, there's more and more traditions that are being put in. It's important, especially our sisters, if the mothers and sisters understand this and they are firm in the household where the mother and sisters, they understand about this, that house is safe. In the house where they do not understand, no matter how the father is, it's not safe. So if they understand this point, this is what Islam is, this is a concept. There's nothing wrong with eating a cake. You can eat it on another day. There's nothing wrong with having a nice meal. But what are you attributing this towards? What benefit is this actually in this? Is it really, do we have to be enslaved to the society and everything that they do and we think is right and we follow the same? So we have to start asking questions. Why do I need to celebrate my birthday? What's the reason? And when you start questioning, then, inshallah, because we've closed and put curtains around us and just follow what is happening in the society and go according to that. May Allah give us a true understanding. Can a Muslim marry a Christian? Now, there's a verse in Surah Al-Ma'idah, para number 6. وَالْمُحْصَنَاتُ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ إِذَا آتَيْتُمُوهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ مُحْسِنِينَ غَيْرَ مُسَافِحِينَ وَلَا مُتَّخِذِي أَخْدَانٍ. Surah Al-Ma'idah, para number 6. So from this verse, there's that permission which is being given that you can marry from Ahl Kitab, from the people of the book. And this is only for the male that's a Muslim to marry a female that's from Ahl Kitab. This is not something that we encourage, something that is permissible. Does that mean that you should do, looking at the time that we are living in, where day by day females and the ladies are gaining more and more dominance, and feminism and so on. And the children usually are with the mother, what the mother teaches them. They learn everything from the mother. So would you want your children, you marry a Christian or someone from the book, they're spending all their time with their mother, so are they going to be a Muslim? If someone is happy and says, okay, I want my child to be a Christian, then it's your choice, go do. That's what the outcome would most probably be. Possibly, very possible. Or go out and do a survey and see. And they say, no, we've had this mutual agreement that the children will be Muslim and so on. There's so many different cases that come up. One brother, I was talking to him, I said, we don't encourage this. Think about your children that will be born. What will happen? How much time are you going to actually spend with them? He says, no, we've got this agreement where the children are going to be Muslim. If that's enough for you to give you the confidence, what can happen to them? What is their akhlaq, their character, their deen going to be? This is a question that we have to think about. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to understand, to spread it unto others. Ameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.